Welcome, everyone, to the press conference for the 250 Eastern region of the Monster Energy Supercross Championship, which, of course, is a greater part of the Super Motocross World Championship. We'd like to thank our partners and dignitaries, Monster Energy, Fly Racing, Rocky Mountain ATVMC, the athletes, teams, and OEMs, the live streaming audience, and our broadcast partner, NBC and Peacock. I'd quickly like to recap the 450 class. We've had multiple lead changes throughout the first 4 rounds of the series, with 2023 Monster Energy Supercross champion Chase Sexton coming in with the red plate. And, of course, the 250 West has given us great action as well, as breakout star Julian Beaumer has the red plate. Hayden Deegan continues to chase his 3rd Super Motocross World Championship. And last weekend, Jordan Smith won the first event ever for the Triumph brand. Now, if we could bring up the 250 East athletes first. We will start with Austin Faulkner, Chance Hymas, Pierce Brown, Max Anstey, Levi Kitchen, and Cameron McAdoo, and we'll give them a second to get seated. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll start off with a question for Cameron McAdoo. Rumors this week of an injury leading into the first opening round. Can you confirm or deny or expand on those?
I can confirm it. Unfortunately, last week I had something happen completely out of my personal control and resulted in a crash, and I did end up fully tearing my ACL. With that being said, I'm super grateful to be here with you guys, and God willing, my leg will be strong enough to do this tomorrow. I felt that the team has worked way too hard. I've worked way too hard this offseason for this to be the way our 2025 racing portion of my 2025 book ends. And, I feel that I owe it to myself and I owe it to the team to give it everything we have. And as of right now, the goal is to obviously get it through Supercross. That being said, we're going to take it race by race. And I think we all know that if anyone can make something out of something like this, it'd be me. So, see you guys tomorrow night under the lights.
Thanks, Cam. Of course, we wish you the best of luck. Now we'll open it up to the media, and after you ask your question, please pass the microphone along so we can get a chance to everybody.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports for Austin. Can you talk a little bit about the new opportunity? You're now with Triumph. Missed last year because of the injury. How keyed up are you to get the season started?
Yeah, no, I'm excited for sure. Obviously, there were, it's my first time changing brands in forever. The only thing I've ever done is move up a bike size or whatever since I was like 11. So there was obviously not really concerns, but just kind of some anxiety that comes with changing teams, moving all the way across the country, a lot of stuff like that. But the people on the team, I met him before we even signed anything, and kind of the first impression I got was that whatever kind of hurdles we come to or whatever, we're gonna figure them out. Like just some motivation and some drive behind everybody on the team. And it has been that. It hasn't been an absolutely smooth off season, but everything that we came to, we figured out a way and made it work, whether it be the bike, whether it be me, whether it be whatever. So that was something that stood out to me about the team right away, and that's kind of it's been proven through the off season that is they followed through with that promise, I guess. So me and the team's good. The new trainer Brownie, I like the program that we're doing with him, and tracks and living area obviously prefer the East Coast much over California, so that's a plus side there. So not really any concerns from my end. I'm ready to get things going.
Question for Chance. We're talking about knee injury, about Cameron. What about yours? I mean, you're coming for a back injury yourself. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. Don't have a lot of bike time right now. Started riding a little bit before Christmas, and then had a couple health issues that I had to take a couple weeks off for. So got back on the bike this last week and did some last-minute testing this week with the team. But overall, I'm feeling good, feeling strong. Me, my trainer Michael Byrne, and Dr. G, we had a solid plan in place when I first got surgery, and hammered the rehab out, and on top of that, getting the rest of my body in shape, and trying to dial things in. I mean, I was coming in behind the 8 ball for sure, but the goal was to make the first round, and we're here. So what happens tomorrow, but I'm at least going to give myself a shot to line up.
Michael Antonovich with course heading. This will be for Levi. We all know what happened at Anaheim 1 after you pulled out of free practice, and then you said you needed to get some blood work done and diagnose what's been going on. What's the update 4 weeks in, and how do we feel before the start of tomorrow?
Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate, but I took about 2 weeks off. There's obviously, everybody knows there was something going around. I'm sure a lot of people have gotten sick, but ended up getting the flu and pneumonia as well. So I just felt terrible that day, and me and Mitch had a meeting, and they were cool with it. So decided to take a little break and get ready for East Coast. So super fortunate that I was able to do that, and I've got about 2 weeks on the bike now, and it's been great. Did a little bit of testing too, so I'm really excited. I got a drive here this morning, which is nice, and it's pretty relaxed, which is cool.
Brian Converse, Motocross Action. Questions for Austin Fortner. Austin, you've had a up and down 250 career, but still pretty strong all in all. A lot of injuries. More recently, obviously, brain surgery and whatnot. Bringing all that forward, signing with a new team. Do you have a lot of pressure on yourself?
We know the bike can do it now. So,
Yes.
That's, I guess, adds confidence, but also maybe adds a little bit of pressure, because it's like, okay, the bike's capable and the bike's good, so it's kind of up to me. I kind of already had a feeling that we were close, which is how the bike's been feeling and everything like that. So, pressure, I don't know, not really. The pressure kind of, or the, I don't know, I guess mindset maybe of pressure, I feel like has changed a little bit now that I'm about to be a dad in a month or so. It kind of changes like my outlook on things a little bit. So not 100%. When the gate drops, it's still, those doesn't matter if, that it's on. So, but my mindset's kind of shifted a little bit in that way. So pressure, there's always pressure. Pressure to win, not necessarily, but just pressure to, just be there all season. I want to be there all season and give myself the best shot and the best. I'm not just racing, I guess, for myself anymore. I'm racing for now about to be a family, so I kind of have to think about things like that and come home every night. So there's kind of that side of things. So pressure to win, not crazy. I know that I can, but just a little bit of a different outlook.
Jeff Beaver, Whiskey Throttle Media. This is for Pierce Brown. Can you take us through the move and the whole off-season kind of training regimen and what it's been like for you training with so many guys at the Star facility?
Yeah, overall the move is smooth. Everything happened pretty quick after Vegas. Just flew straight to Tallahassee and then got my house all sorted in. So that was nice. And like I said, I've put in pretty much the whole off-season of riding. So we're more than ready. The team's great, bike's great. So all that's good. I'm just excited to get the thing or get some gate drops now and see where we stack up.
Was it a big push being around all those guys training every day up in your level?
That was probably like the biggest change for me, I'd say. I went from riding with one guy, like I've had one teammate my whole career, till now I have pretty close to 10 guys I'm riding with every day. So it's like a full race day, and like the tracks break down. It gets pretty realistic every day, and that I think sets us up for just being like the most prepared we possibly can be for race day. So that's been fun. It's been cool. There's days where you're the fastest. Some days you're the nail, and that's been fun to kind of like navigate through and just like find like composure and stuff like that. But no, it's been good.
Mitch Kendra here with Racer X. We'll go to Max Anstey. We saw you in December. I think that was the first time we saw you for the SMX Media Days. What have you been up to since then, on and off the bike? How are we feeling? Just give us an update, I guess, a couple months removed now from last time we really saw you.
Yeah, same as what Pierce said. just been doing what I'm told on the Swanee program. It's definitely been different for me having an off season like this. You know, I've been around a while. Obviously, started many different championships all over the world, and primarily trained alone. So yeah, to be able to train with such a great group of guys. You know, champions. You know, Cooper Webb, Eli was there for a bit in December. Justin Cooper, and then of course all the 250 guys. It's been cool. It's been interesting, and yeah, just been putting in my laps, doing my work, and yeah, you know, off season's the off season. We all feel good coming in, but I guess we'll see where we all are tomorrow night, and we'll go to work.
Just as a follow to that, you jumped into the Pro Motocross Championship last year to get more familiar with the team, get that communication going. Have you seen that really blossom? Do you think that's going to help you in these East Coast Supercross races because you got that head start?
Yeah, 100%. I think, I mean, I was also looking long term, as in I want to be good for outdoors as well, and SMX this year. And for me, the whole idea of that was I hadn't raced outdoors on a 250 since 2010. I mean, okay, I raced GPs in MX2, but it was a long time, and I knew that the transition to the team, and also, you know, I'm not silly. I've been around Jordan Smith and guys that have been on this team perform all year out, and this is my opportunity. You know, I had 2 years. I was lucky enough that the team that I was on allowed me to do that and get a head start. So it was kind of a few months on the bike, able to race and, you know, just figure things out. I'm thinking that'll help me more for coming into outdoors. But as far as Supercross goes, yeah, it's nice. I know all the guys now. I'm pretty relaxed with everything, but we've had a long off season to figure all that out too. But yeah, outdoors, we don't ride. I haven't ridden a day of outdoors since Motocross Nations. So, I'm glad that I was able to do those races for preparation for the big picture, which is the whole of this SMX series.
Question for Levi Kitchen. Coming into A1, obviously you were prepared. When did that sickness hit you, and what did your training look like after you got through the sickness? Were you able to get back to the point you were before A1, or was it a long build-up? And talk about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I flew out to California Monday before A1, and then I rode Tuesday and got home where I was staying at Mitch's there, and I started kind of feeling crappy. So that's when it hit me, and then I took, like I said, that whole week off, the whole next week after that, and I think I started riding like maybe Tuesday after or whatever, and honestly, I feel that little break might have helped me in a way. Like, it wasn't nice to be sick, but it was kind of nice to get a little bit of a break and then kind of get back in the swing of things. And as anybody knows, like, once you already have your base, you know, it takes like a week or so to kind of get back where you were. And yeah, I feel really good right now. I'm excited. I feel like it's kind of weird for me because I almost already got through like the nerves of the first race and I showed up. So maybe that'll help. Like, it's a little bit more relaxed for me.
Kellen Brower, Swap Moto Live. I'll go back to you, Levi. I know that for you've grown up on the West Coast, so maybe you kind of were already familiar with the dirt out there. But now training on the East Coast and coming to race East Coast, is it kind of nice that you don't have to do much changing to the bike or anything like that coming into this weekend?
Yeah, for sure. I've always wanted to do East Coast more so, but I've always just been ready for West. So, and I felt like last year the tracks that were on West Coast that broke down more, I felt I did better anyway. So, yeah, the bikes, you know, I've got it pretty dialed, I think. As everybody knows, it's kind of hard to tell until you race it. So, but overall, I'm just excited to ride some rutted up stuff, and I look forward to that.
Take our last question here.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now. Chance, we saw you take a huge leap last summer outdoors. We know you're not coming in 100%, but do you expect to take, by the time you're ready, that similar leap in Supercross?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in this scenario right now where I need to race myself into shape, go about it the best way possible, try not to take more risks than I need to. At the end of the day, the team and I discussed both our goals is a motocross championship right now, so where I'm coming in, and the team originally wasn't really planning on me racing this weekend. I just need to, go out and learn a bunch. Unfortunately, these last couple of years, I've missed out on some races and, missed those valuable learning experiences. So going to go out, learn as much as I can, not take too many risks. But at the end of the day, I'm still a racer. I'm still going to go give it my all. And, if I'm in a situation where, there's a podium, a top 5, or even a win, if I'm in that situation, I'm going to take it. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I need to get out of this weekend healthy. Just each weekend get out of it healthy and, just learn as much as I can for, I guess, now next year. So that's where I'm at.
Wes Williams, Vermoto. Levi, back to you. The whole West Coast thing, it was said that you were, ducking the West Coast, but if that was the case, it seems like you stepped into a way more stacked field at this point. 11 factory guys on the line tomorrow. Just tell me how stacked this coast is.
Yeah, it's going to be epic. I had a good time racing with RJ last year, and I don't know. There's even more this year than there was for me last year. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, no matter what coast you go to, it ends up you still got to go out there and do your job. So there's pressure no matter which one you go to, but it's going to be crazy because there's a lot of people. I mean, all these guys up here can win, so it's going to be really fun, and I hope there's just some good, fun, clean racing, and everybody just gives it their all.
Thank you, gentlemen. As a reminder of how to watch, all races are streamed live on Peacock, NBC, USA Network, NBC Sports audio channel, which I believe is channel 85, Spanish language broadcast on Telemundo Deportes, Facebook, YouTube, and X channels domestically. And as a reminder, all 3 languages are streamed on the Super Motocross Video Pass, and that is French, English, and Spanish. Now we're going to welcome our 2 champions from 2024, the East and the West, which both happen to be racing East this year. It's Tom Vial and RJ Hampshire. Start the questions off for RJ Hampshire. It's been an eventful offseason, I think you could say. Can you just give us an idea of kind of where you come in as far as readiness? And I'm sure your goal is a championship, but overall thoughts, because it seems like you've had, as I said, an eventful offseason.
Yeah, and it's not just kind of the injuries and stuff. Like, man, just a lot happened. But, man, I'm confident where I'm at now. Last couple weeks have been really well. I've gone really well. If I had to race A1, it wouldn't have been good for myself. I wasn't in a good spot. So mentally, physically, I feel good. I feel good on the bike. I can pretty much do everything I want to do. Just accepted the fact that I'm going to have some pain in my wrist a few weeks ago. Like that, it's not going to go away. But I'm okay with that. Like, look, we're all dealing with something. I mean, you've seen the guys up here. Like, my injury is public. Theirs probably isn't. So we're all dealing with something. We just got to get racing on the weekend.
Open it up to the media.
Yeah, Kellen Brower, Swap Moto Live for Tom. You're obviously coming in as a defending champ, but I feel like there's not a lot of fanfare around you with that. How has your offseason been, and like, do you feel more prepared this year even than last year to come in and win this title again?
Yeah, actually, I had I had a great off-season. Everything went well. I went to Supercross of Paris. That race was pretty good, and I actually got sick. Like, I think a lot of people, like, this month of January, I got sick for like a week, but overall, my off-season was good. I think I'm, of course, better than last year. I think I'm keep on improving every winter. It's only my third Supercross season, so I feel great on the bike, and yeah, pretty excited to be racing again.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now. RJ, we know obviously the goal was for you to defend the West Coast title. How close were you to racing at A1, and how difficult was the decision not to?
If you would have seen me ride those 2 weeks leading up to A1, like there was no chance. Like, I was literally doubling around the Supercross track just trying to get back on the bike. Like, yeah, of course you wanted to, but realistically, I think that was 9 weeks after my surgery, and like my surgery wasn't just a small one. Like, they literally had to take the screw out, put a plate back in, and pretty much restart my recovery process that I just did in June. So yeah, I mean, of course the plan was to race West, but we kind of knew it wasn't going to be a realistic kind of situation to be in. I myself just focused on, look, get as healthy as I can, as fast as I can. But overall, I mean, East Coast was kind of the plan.
Stefan Legrand, LeBigUSA.com. And a question for Tom. Tom, you said it's third year in Supercross. I mean, did you change something in your program from the previous years?
Not really. So I still have the same program as last year. I'm training with Peter Park and actually Chase Sexton on the bike, so and off the bike. So we do a lot together, and I didn't change a lot compared to my last off season. Pretty much the same, and I feel actually pretty good physically this year, and yeah, I'm ready to go. It didn't change much compared to last year.
Michael Antonovich with Course Heading. This is for RJ. As a champion, as a guy that won a very decisive title last year with up and down results in the West Coast, and you see the guys that you're racing against in the next few weeks, like we know the East Coast is stacked, but if you look at the guys, everyone has a tendency to have some crashes, some up and down races. What will it take for you guys to get a title through this? Like, what does it take to put the pieces together?
I mean, mentally, I feel like Tom and I are the only ones that have been able to put it together. Like, and I think we both can deliver whenever, you know, that time comes. I mean, overall, yeah, there's a lot of great guys. And last year was a test for myself to, you know, put myself in that position and to be able to pull through and win a championship. That mentality, that switch that you can have is huge, and you don't know if you can do it until that, you know, position comes. Man, there's a lot of great guys though. Like every weekend is going to be, you know, a grind. Yeah, it's just going to be focused on yourself, and yeah, you know, my goal is to win a championship. So put myself in the best position each weekend to get to that goal.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. Kind of the same question for Tom. Can you elaborate or talk about what it's going to be like to race head-to-head champions? And all of the guys up here just a moment ago are also stacked. Talk about the depth of the field, please.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting, and I'm actually pretty excited about the weekend to see how it's going to be. But, you know, we race pretty much all year in outdoor and SMX with all the guys together. So it's not a big, let's say, a big difference. I think once you move to 450, you're going to have to race all the good guys at the same time. So it's nice that there's a lot of guys who can actually win the race. So we're going to see the first race of the year for everyone and see a little bit who is going to be good. And of course, it's the first race, so I think a lot of guys are going to get better. And I actually like a lot the track here 2023. That was my first time here in Tampa, and I really like it, the track with that sand section, and it's pretty fun, I think. So I'm pretty excited for tomorrow.
Jeff Beaver, Whiskey Throttle Media. This question's for RJ. RJ, with moving over to the East Coast to race this season, does it actually play to your benefit with the travel schedules being shorter instead of having to go from Florida to the West Coast to race those rounds? Does that help you with your recovery and getting ready for the racing and just kind of be prepared?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, all of us now are pretty much based on the East Coast, so it doesn't really change too much. And whenever we do race those West Coast rounds, like we usually spend a month out there. And I believe the last 3 years I raced the West Coast, so I mean I got comfortable doing that. Of course, it's nice sleeping in your own bed and being able to come, you know, race. And this is my hometown. Like I was born and raised, you know, 20, 25 minutes from here. So. Of course, like that's cool, and same with Daytona. Like those are just two kind of historic, you know, races that are awesome to have in Florida, and you know, a lot of friends and family will be here. Kind of gives you a little bit more comfort than say me racing out in Seattle like last year, where it was Levi's hometown. Like, dude, everybody was there cheering for Levi. Like no one cared what I did. So just like little things like that. Like yeah, it definitely helps on the weekend.
Mitch Kendra with Racer X. We'll stick with RJ here. You're brutally honest, and I think fans can appreciate that. We know you're pretty gritty throughout your career. Was there a chance, like knowing that they were going to go to the 450 for pro motocross, was there a chance you were going to skip Supercross, or was it just like you're going to go RJ, you're going to give it your all even if you're not 100%, just to get one last final 250 Supercross season in?
No, I mean I'm paid to race my dirt bike, so if I can go racing, I will race Supercross, and that's, I mean, there was never anything like that. Like, yeah, of course I wanted to spend some time on the 450 during the off season. That didn't happen, but it immediately switched. Like, at the time, I had a number 1 place still on my bike, and we all agreed, like, look, we're fully invested in this 250 championship right now. Like, okay, yeah, this guy, like, I'm a racer. Of course, I want to race a 450, but it's not what I'm paid to do right now. So we did everything we could to be the best we can on the 250. Yeah, we could have spent a lot more time on it during the off season, but as soon as I got, out to California and right around that A1 time, they gave me kind of all the new settings and where they were, and it translated well. Like, once I got back to the East Coast, we didn't really have to change much. And man, our bike's good. It's really good. Like, you've seen kind of Juju on the West Coast, like he's riding awesome. So gives us confidence coming into, start our series.
Question for both of you. You guys are going to face the West Coast riders 3 times with the East-West showdowns. What have been your takeaways from the West Coast so far?
I mean, Juju looks really good. Like, I was impressed with him. Even Cole Davies, like, same, is pretty impressive. Deegan's probably gonna get better as the year goes on. But again, it's like, man, if you look at our coast, like, we're still racing, awesome guys, and that can win any weekend, and that just kind of adds to it. But if you get to start and you ride your race, like, it really doesn't change who you're racing.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have one more East-West showdown, so I think it's pretty fun. I think the start is really important in those races. We only race for 15 minutes, so the start, I think, is the key for those races, and I'm pretty excited to do it one more time than we did last year.
Billy Rainford from Direct Motocross. I guess for both of you guys, we've seen some really big obstacles, including quads, which we haven't seen a whole lot of. Even Cooper Webb admitted that he was kind of afraid at some of the rhythms and things. Are you guys, especially Tom, you've got maybe of everybody not as much Supercross experience, but are you okay with what you've seen from the tracks out west? Are you looking forward to some big obstacles here in the east?
Yeah, they were actually. I was in San Diego. That quad was actually pretty big, especially on the 250. I think the stadium this weekend is going to be a little bit smaller, so maybe we won't have the quad. But they raced some bigger stadium, I think, on the West Coast. So especially the last race, the jump were pretty massive, and I think this weekend is going to be a little bit more tight, and maybe we won't have some quad. But yeah, if I have to jump, I will.
If I had to race last weekend, I would not have probably jumped those quads. Just to say, I'm glad I wasn't racing last week with my wrist right now.
Adam Ciantrillo, Race Day Live. First off, RJ, that's a lie. You would have hit those jumps, no problem. But my question is, you've always had the speed. You've had the speed probably the last 5 years to win a championship. But just recently, last year you made that jump to kind of be a little bit more consistent, be in the title, get it done at the last race. Is that more of something specific that you've worked on with your riding, or is it more of a kind of a mental step?
I mean, you know this as good as I do. There's so many factors that play into you going racing on the weekend, whether it's, your home life or your bike or, the team that you surround yourself with. And people don't realize that when you're watching, what goes on to go out there and be successful every weekend. So that was where it was mentally for myself. Like, just knowing I can do it, but also being able to do it whenever it mattered the most. Also, with my bike and the team, it took a while to, get us to where I was confident and knew I had one of the best bikes out there to go win on. But yeah, it's a massive puzzle that has to align all year long to be a champion, and that's what I was missing. And last year we finally put those pieces together.
Thank you, gentlemen. Good luck tomorrow night. So as we push forward towards the Super Motocross World Championship playoffs at Anaheim 1, we announced the dates and locations for those. We will kick it off again at Concord at ZMAX Dragway on September 6th, followed by St. Louis, Missouri at the Dome at America Center on September 13th. And we will have the SMX World Championship final in Las Vegas on September 20th at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You can go to supermotocross.com to buy tickets right now. Also, for the media in attendance, we will have a media scrum session immediately following this for about 30 minutes. Riders that attended this, you will not need to be down onto the track until around 1:25, as you've already answered questions here. And riders will start their press day at 1:30. There will be 450 and 250 athletes that did not attend this meeting today. Thank you, everybody, for watching and attending.